Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 21, beginning with the Pittsburgh Pirates. To say the Pirates weren't very good last season is a bit of an understatement. They did finish at 41-99. But that just means that we've got a chance to have a really good draft pick, and that's what we're going to be building on. We're about to enter the 1901 season, which is traditionally the first season of the American League in real life. But because of the way OOTP works, we actually have it right now. So, what do we have to work with? What is good about this team? Frank Chance is one of those things. Now, I do think he is badly miscast as a catcher, and I don't think I'll keep him as one if we can get an improvement. But as a first baseman, yes, I think this will work. Let's sort by WAR. That's an easier way to see who's good and who's not. Jimmy Sheckard is a very young, talented player. I think we can work with this too. Kip Selbach is already a bit on the old side, but he's been productive. Bill Lang in center. We've got a lot of upper round picks. It's just that for whatever reason, Pittsburgh hasn't been able to break through to the other side. They haven't really been able to improve to where they should be. Ed Greminger is fine, I guess. And then we've got several players who aren't very good, including old friend Herman Long. My dear friends, we're going to trade Herman Long for the first thing that literally anybody offers us. Literally anything that has even a 1% chance of improving this team, I'll take it. It doesn't mean that I'll give him away for nothing, but it does mean that it's not going to take much to pry him out of my cold, dead hands. Jack Dunn could be a starter, actually. His pitches aren't that great. I guess we could take, like, a Pete Dowling, for instance. He's not the best player, but he's not the worst either. Mike Morrison doesn't throw strikes. That is pretty problematic. I mean, Cowboy Jones has a pretty amazing name, but I think we'll actually take... If Jack Sudhoff can ever figure out how to throw strikes, he could be useful. I'm gasping as well. I'm really just trying to find a way to get him off the team, and I think that's exactly what I'll do. Enjoy. The fans are sad, but the fans would be even sadder if we carried his god-awful bullshit on this team for another season. We're at max scouting. Let's also go to max player development. There we go. How are we looking for pitching? Nixie Callahan is okay. I think okay is a good way to put it. Our old pal John Hofford is acceptable. And Big Bad Bill Donovan is decent. And if none of these sound like ringing endorsements, it's because they're not. And I definitely think this is another area we could improve in. But I'll take what we've got for right now in hopes of picking up some truly special players in this draft. This is not a team that's ready to compete. Not now, probably not next season, probably not 2 seasons from now. But I'm hoping that simply adding a better shortstop, wherever we get him from, is going to be enough to really make this team a little bit more competitive. We have F. Jacklish. Now, see, you're actually a pretty decent catcher. You're not the greatest, but you certainly are better as a catcher than Frank Chance likely is. I'm not going to take Bill White. That dude can't even play shortstop. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to find a way to acquire a new shortstop. I think that's just a thing we have to accept. And I'm going to go ahead and shift Frank Chance over to first base. I don't know, that makes him seem like less of a megastar, but he doesn't frankly need to be one. And let's try to swap you. Any shortstop would do. A Bill Stewart or a William Gallagher, maybe. Is there a good shortstop here? I could get Herman Long back. Absolutely not. A guy like Charlie Nice would be an interesting player. But I need someone who's a bit better as a shortstop, if I'm honest with you. And then maybe why William Gallagher. But the thing is, he's bad at errors. Now, that may just be all shortstops are like that. And if that's the case, that's the case. Maybe we trade for a guy like Bill Stewart and then see where that gets us. I mean, is there actually a shortstop who isn't particularly error prone? I don't think so. Even though like Ed Glenn is fairly error prone. And I get it. It's because of them trying to simulate how defense was in these days. Frank Shannon is really young, but he's also a really terrible hitter. Maybe I should wait for now. I'm not in a rush. And see what might be available when it comes to other things. A personal message. We have Gettysburg Eddie Plank. That would be a pretty damn good addition to the rotation. We'll talk about them in a minute. I just want to see... Did any Phillies win? Yep, McKean and Slattery both won again. As is tradition. We're going to lose Joe Daly and Harry Cauliflower. Well, that's fine. Jesse Tannehill. Sluggers. Really? Nobody from the Phillies? Huh. Hank Gastrite? Yeah, I guess he actually was pretty good last season. Huh. And George Davis won the MVP. Of course he did. Alright. What does this team need? It needs a shortstop. It needs pitching. Frankly, other than Frank Chance, there's nobody on this team that I can definitely say will be part of the next great team. Maybe Selbach, because he's pretty good too. And definitely Jimmy Sheckard, I think. I think those three players in particular really have a chance to be truly exceptional. I know that I've zipped through the start of Hall of Fame voting, but I assure you we'll do that before we go any farther. Alright, what do I got here? Charlie Bennett, maybe. Bob Emlyle, meh. Jim Whitney, definitely. I thought he already was in the Hall of Fame. I was thinking of someone else. Yeah, Jim Whitney is stupidly eligible for the Hall of Fame. He's too good for it in certain ways. You know what? Charlie Bennett was a pretty good catcher for a long time. He's better than the average catcher. I'll vote for him too. And then that's probably it. I don't really see anybody else here that definitely screams at me. You must vote this person into the Hall of Fame. So I'm not gonna. Submit. Alright, let's talk draft. This is not an amazing draft in a lot of ways. This is a great draft for pitchers, but not a great draft for hitters. And that's really unfortunate because that's what we need this season. Is we need a great bat to keep things together. So here are my choices. I've got Doc White, Gettysburg Eddie Plank, and Ed Seaver. Historically, of these three players, Gettysburg Eddie Plank was a Hall of Famer. Doc White was pretty darn good. Not a Hall of Famer, but pretty darn good. And Ed Seaver was just out of the league pretty early on. Of these players, is there any one of them that I definitely would take over the others? Plank is interesting because he's still pretty raw. White is much more polished. Like, sure, I could take Lefty Davis, but he doesn't play any position particularly well. And the same with Marty McIntyre. And they're both corner outfielders, which are positions that, quite frankly, I don't really need a ton of help in. So it comes down to which of these two pitchers is going to be better for this team. And I gotta say, we could probably do with either one of them. If I'm leaning Eddie Plank, it's because I know his pedigree. Whereas Doc White is a player I'm just not that familiar with. But it was totally excellent in his own right. This may just be one of those years where either one of the players would really be a good choice. And Doc White is 4 years younger. Like, 4 years younger. As much as I love Gettysburg Eddie Plank, I think we take Doc White. I think he's just the best choice. Alright. George Mcbride is a terrific defensive shortstop who can't hit his way out of a paper bag. Oh, please give me my scouting director's opinion, thanks. You really like Davy Jones, but unfortunately, outfield is a position I just don't need help at right now. I need infielders. Yeah. You know what? Hobe Ferris isn't like amazing, but he's a terrific defensive second baseman or third baseman. And that's definitely something we need on this team right now. You're a decent hitter, but bad at every position. I still don't have a shortstop. I guess Luke Carr isn't the worst I've heard of, but I hope we can do better than that. Here you go. Filter. Because I don't want a bad shortstop. I'd rather have a bad hitting shortstop than a bad fielding one. So give me at least 50. Literally, Luke Carr is my only choice. He's the only player who's actually a decent shortstop that's left. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. I need him for right now. And then go ahead and remove the filter. And then I want just the best player I can get my hands on, which looks like Frank Morrissey to me. Charlie Case, sure. And then I think I just go ahead and let my scouting director do the rest of the drafting. And now we're going to negotiate. Now, one thing I really like about taking a player like Doc White is it frees us up to trade someone else to fill another need. And we've got nothing but needs, Lord knows. But I'm hoping that just having a decent shortstop, like a shortstop who doesn't actively make the team worse, I know, low standards, etc., is going to be worth it in the long run. Like, I don't care if we lose any of these people. Who gives a poop? But I give a minor poop. Hobe Ferris, is Ace Stewart a good second baseman? Oh, dear God, no. Ferris, you're promoted. Stewart, you're traded. I'm just going to take the best player available. Pete Browning, no. Pete Browning is not that player. God, there are just some really awful players available. I'm going to take Pete Mcbride because, heck, at least he's young, right? Maybe someday he'll suck a little bit less. I don't remember who Frank Morrissey is. Oh, you're one of my relievers. Got it. Brilliant. Is there anybody else here that I need to put on the 40-man? Or risk losing them? I don't think so. Nobody important anyway. Rule 5 draft. Is there a very good player in here? Sure doesn't seem like it. Okie dokie. I'm just going to say no thanks. Harry DeMiller and Perry Coleman both got taken. That's good for both of them, I suppose. All right. Doc White is obviously a little bit too good to play in the minors. But equally, letting him play in the minors makes him cheaper so that I don't have to worry about paying him as much. And it increases my chances of, quite frankly, finishing in the bottom 3 this season. Which is what I want, actually. I don't want to do well this season. I want to do badly. I'm not saying I'm going to tank, because that would be a lie. But... Wait, what? You're telling me I don't have a shortstop. I have a shortstop. I drafted one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a great shortstop. It just has to be a shortstop. What are you doing, game? There you go. Anyone get elected? Whitney, Paul Hines, and Jack Lynch. Jack Lynch is meh. Paul Hines is equally meh. I don't understand why you'd vote this guy into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's got a good batting average, but that's it. I guess he stole a bunch of bases, which is something, but he's literally was worthless after he turned 29. I don't know. That's not a Hall of Famer to me, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, I think we pretty much just let the season go. I'm not massively concerned about winning this season, because I don't think we will. I don't think there's any chance that we will. And by just taking the players we have and just letting them develop and play better, I think we'll see a serious improvement. This also lets Doc White have a year to just figure out how to pitch, and I think, in all honesty, it just gives us the best chance for... I don't care about that guy. It gives us the best chance for future success if we have another bad season. And I know, this is where you're like, what are you talking about, Avi? Why would you not want to compete this season? Because we can. If I play Doc White, he's going to charge me an arm and a leg financially. And that's, frankly, something I neither need to nor wish to afford. And it's not like, let's be honest, it's not like adding him is going to turn us into a playoff team. Because while the core of the lineup is very good, game, please stop. I love me some Frank Chance. I think Selbach and Sheckard are quite good as well. I think Lang is okay. I hope that Hobe Ferris will be decent. The thing is that we don't have elite talent for the most part. We have some. We are not lacking in talent, but we're lacking in great talent. And that's why I want to figure out what happened to my third baseman. Where's that guy I just drafted? Is it Ferris I'm thinking of? Yeah, it's Ferris I was thinking of that can play third base really well, too. But yeah, so to be perfectly honest with you, I don't care. I don't care if we win it this season because it's not going to matter in the long run. What will matter is getting another top 2 or 3 pick and then picking up, hopefully, the very best possible player we can in this next draft. Now, I expect, without any hesitation, that we will be better than we were last season purely through subtracting the awfulness of our middle infield combination. And if that's enough to push us over 500, which I guess it could be, then it is, and I'll have to deal with that. But I bet it's not. I just suspect it's not. Okay. I've got 32 players on my roster, 9 of whom are pitchers. That's fine. Let's get rid of hitters. I don't need 6 catchers or 5 catchers or just, in general, this many catchers. Nagel, you suck. Burger, thanks for playing, but you're not even a real burger. I mean, you're better than Klondike Douglas, at least than he is as a catcher, but yeah, not a fan. I refuse to be demoted. That's fine. I refuse to pay you any longer. Can I get a rookie? You know what? I'll take it. John Papalau. Welcome to the Pirates. I'm not telling you we have cookies because that would be a lie, but we have things that might look like cookies if you looked hard enough. Would you... Game, please stop this. Please stop changing back to the wrong scout. Just stop doing it. Here you go. Batting ratings, Bierman. So wait, since when is Frank Chance rated as a 61? Oh, were you turning him back into a catcher again? I don't want him to be a catcher. I want him to be a first baseman. Right. Speaking of which, Bill Everett, you are an unnecessary complication. I could get behind some Frank Freund. Or Pete Dowling. Yeah, let's get Pete Dowling on our side. Why not? We could just use some more relievers, though, right? Like a guy like Doc Amole. Pretty nice. Let's grab him. I really don't care if you're happy about it or not, fans. I care about making this team successful. And that means getting rid of the dead weight, like Taylor Schaefer. Are you even a good defender? You're an okay defender. I need to get down to 25. Breitenstein, I'm just going to cut you. And I think I can get rid of one more outfielder. I feel pretty strongly about that. I don't need Jack O'Brien. There we go. Opening day roster. How lovely. Patience, my amigos, patience. Doc White is now the number 3 prospect. I feel pretty great about that. Let's go turn off the scouting reports, and then we're just going to burn through this season like it's going out of style. Because there's just no need to... There's no need to suffer. There's no need to suffer and accept that. Oh, look, neither of these jackasses got picked up by anybody because they both suck. There you go. Ooh, I'm getting emails. George Haddock beat the Pirates. Well, I have a feeling that blank beat the Pirates is going to be a pretty common thing to say this season. Come on, let's get real nice and deep into the gutter. That's what I like to see. Oh, player development. Anybody here I care about? Not really. I like how Charlie Case is rapidly turning into like the greatest relief pitcher Major League Baseball's ever seen, which is pretty fun. Guys, how are we over 500? Okay, let me make this perfectly clear, Charlie Abbey. You ain't worthy of shit. You are worthy of kissing my ass. That is what you are worthy of doing. Oh, it's this prick. The guy who kept whining until he got out of Philadelphia. How on earth are we so good this season? Is it just we have competent defenders and therefore things look better? I don't know. But I don't like it, because I wanted a top 3 pick. You're playing too good, damn it. I don't even know how to tank right. Yikes. Oh dear, and Doc White's already unlocking his full potential in record time. That's fine. No, I didn't. Why would I bring in an MVP winner? Ooh, number 1 prospect. Nice. Let us... Wait, what? Oh, Bill White. I was about to fucking shit myself. Like, if I just spent my first overall pick on a guy who retired, I'd be stabbing people. Real good. Alright. We could do better at literally every position. In all honesty, we could do a lot better. I'm gonna tell you what. We're just gonna let every coach go. And we'll promote from within if we have to. But yeah, I'm here to clean house. I'm not here to care. I do care who, if anyone, made it from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Callahan, Douglas, Chance. Okay. Well then. That sounds pretty good. I'm a little bit sad with how well we're doing. Like, we're not just playing well, we're dominating in a lot of ways. And I'm not looking for mediocrity. I'm looking for spectacular flameouts. Hofford's going to retire. So that's one problem solved, I guess. And that I know who Doc White's going to take over for. I'm just going to go to the end of the regular season. I need that top 4 or 5 pick. I think that is essential for us to succeed this year. This coming year. And I think other than the corner outfield and first base, I think I'll take whatever's available. I don't care what you want, Charlie. I want you to shut up. I will flat out cut you if that's what it takes to get you to put a sock in it. Man, I'm going to get the number 5 overall pick. That's not going to be as helpful. Whatever, I guess. I remember Phenomenal Smith. I selected him, or I acquired him just because his name was Phenomenal. Pun intended? Yes. Huh. Well, you know what, John? I am glad that you are going out on a high note. You're already way better than historical John Hofford, so, you know, fair play to you. Draft pool. Tinker, Evers, Addy Joss. That's a hell of a top 3. And I don't even have a chance at getting a top 3 pick. I'm not bad enough. We played too well this season, and now we're going to suffer for it. Oh, good for the Horned Frogs. The Pointed Stick. Until the playoffs end, it's an all-Chicago World Series. All right. He wants us to do better. I want us to do better too. You've given me a new 1-year deal. We finished with Doc White in the top of the thing. I can live with this. I can't live with us playing badly forever, but hey, I got a Silver Slugger. Who got the Silver Slugger? Jimmy Sheckard. Good job, Jimmy. I knew you had it in you. Alright. Super easy choice number 1. No hesitation. I pick 5th. And I think this is a draft with maybe 3 great players. Yeah, there's 3 great players in this draft. Tinker, Evers, and Addie Joss. With maybe Otto Hess and Carl Lundgren as other decent additions to this roster. I've gotta hope. It's the only thing I can do is hope that one of these top 2 hitters falls to me at number 5. I don't think it's super likely, but I think it could happen. So that's what I'm hoping for. Is that I do get lucky enough that one of them falls to me. Bennett stays on my ballot. Bob Emsley. Bill Sweeney, yes. I think that's a very reasonable thing to say. And yeah, there's just not enough else here to get me excited. So yeah. Bennett and Sweeney. I really hope that one of the great hitters slips to me. But I have a sneaking suspicion that they won't. And it's not like Otto Hess is a bad consolation prize, or that Fred Glade wouldn't be a decent choice. It's just, what we need is offensive talent, and we need that more than we need more pitching right now. But that's where we are. We're finished. We happen to finish with a 5th round pick and a draft with 3 great players. And then a few other players that range from okay to not so great. George Mullen is actually a pretty decent hitter in his own right. But no, that's not what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto draft each pick, and we're going to let the agony build up. There goes Evers. There goes Joss. There goes Hess. There goes Glade. I can't have Tinker to Evers to chance, but I can at least have Tinker to chance. And I think this is exactly what we needed. I think this is the difference for this team. Give me Joe Tinker. Give him to me now. And then about Philadelphia takes George Mullen. No, Chappie McFarland. Okay. Jimmy Sebring is super young, and I'm willing to let him develop, so I will take him. There's a lot to be said for talented offensive players, no matter when you take them. Bob Snappy Dresser. I could see myself playing a player like him. 6 o'clock Weaver, huh? I'm just going to go ahead and trust my scouting director to do the rest of this for me. I also need to refill up my coaching staff. I need an assistant GM. So I would like GM ratings. Wants to be assistant GM. And I want someone who's really good at developing. Logan Barnes, you're in. Hitting coach John Tilley, how would you get along with my major leaguers? You get along well with Kip Selbach. That's good enough for me. John Boy, you're my hitting coach in Pittsburgh. And then that way I can just hire a new hitting coach. John Maloney, sure. Now let's get ourselves a bench coach. Someone with a good reputation. And someone with... How about a guy like Ike Benners? He'd get along with most of the hitters, but none of the pitchers. That's not ideal. How about Fauvel Wordsworth? Only Henry Blofeld and Frank Menke don't like him, and those jerks are probably going to be gone before too much longer. So, Fauvel goes east and comes to Pittsburgh. Did you like what I did there? I hope you did. I did to think that amazing... Okay, so the draft is over with. Negotiate with draftees. There we go. Joe Tinker, my dude, welcome to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think we're going to make an ever so slight push this season. I want to see what we can manage given the talented players we have on the roster right this second. If I promote Doc White, giving us a new starter. If I upgrade the bullpen, and I have the arms to do that right now in this system. If I add Evers instead of Lou Carr's just god-awful performance, how does that work for us? Does that get me anywhere adjacent to the playoffs? You know what? I don't think it does, but I also don't want to be the team that's mired in crap for decades because I'm afraid to take a chance. Rule 5 draft. You took George Kelb from me? I forgot I had George Kelb. Oh, well. I'll survive. I could get me some Joe Stanley in my life. He can't hit worth the crap, but he is a baseball player. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't give a crap. There's nobody here that's gonna change things for me. You also took Pete McBride from me. How dare you? How dare you, sir? So I ended up getting nothing for Ray Stewart. Well, that's what he was actually worth, so that's fine. Alright, Doc White, boom, majors. Joe Tinker, boom, majors. What else? Frank Menke, you're hot garbage. Charlie Case, you're in. Where else can I make upgrades? How did I didn't even look at how my team did last season. Frank Chance was worth 5 wins above replacement. Very nice. Is it too late to look at the batting stats for last season? Or are those reset already? They haven't. Jimmy Sheckard was phenomenal, as we expected. He led the league in walks. You gotta love that. Ed Greminger is a very competent third baseman. I like to see that. He is very good at fielding as well. Lou Carr was a waste of oxygen, so that didn't work out so well. Hobe here was league average with the bat, but an awful good defender. That's very reassuring. And then Klondike Douglas randomly at 300 this season. I don't see him doing that too often, but I can live with it for now. But yeah, this lineup is not far from being acceptable. And the Nixie Callahan was sensational. Even Bill Donovan continued to be Bill Donovan. And then we're going to add Doc White to that. I think things are going to be interesting. I genuinely think we have a chance to maybe not make the playoffs. But I would be surprised and a little embarrassed if we can't at least get... Yeah, Frank Menke, you are worth $0. I wouldn't even trade you because it would be an insult to anybody that took you. Tell me that Charlie Bennett made the Hall of Fame. Come on. Thank you. And so did Bill Sweeney, and both of them deserved it quite a bit, so I'm not going to deny that. No, he's... You see that he sucks, right? There has to be some part of the game that looks at a player like Dick Higham and says to itself, this is a bad baseball player. Like, okay, bad is an overstatement. He was decent. But, like, come on. There's nothing about him that is remarkable in any way, especially compared to other dead ball hitters. Why is he so close to the Hall of Fame? Why is Ord or Schaefer? He at least was better. He has an actual peak, unlike Dick Higham, but maybe it's Higham. I don't know how you're meant to pronounce that. Different people pronounce things different ways. It's fine. You've raised my draft budget, which is delightful. I mean, it's not why I picked the players I did, but I appreciate the vote of confidence nonetheless. Well, geez, you're not such a good fellow after all, are you, Mike? Get it? Get it? All right, bench coach. Bench coach the shit out of this. I love this. I love Frank Chance in the heart of the order. I love Kip Selbach as my leadoff guy. I love everything about this. There is nothing about this that I do not love. Pitching. I mean, this is probably going to be pretty doggone obvious, but yeah, it's going to be White, Callahan, and Donovan. And then I'm just going to go right to opening day because, frankly, I don't have to worry about service time games, really. Doc White somehow got worse, tiny bit, but I think letting him pitch in the minors was the right move. Okay, you want better than a 500 season? I do too. Joe Tinker is about the same. Greminger is better. Tinker is better. At least as a hitter. No, that is good water. All right. Now, I've got to get rid of 2 players. And I'm not going to get rid of a pitcher. The pitchers we have now are fine. I'm not going to dispose of any of them just yet. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to find players that don't serve our needs and kick them to the curb. Charlie Abbey, you spent all of last season whining and moaning about how you wanted to be traded. How's about we see what we can get for you? Let's just throw this out here, right? Like, I'm not gonna get a fantastic player, but I'm gonna get at least a good player, I think. A Jack W. Taylor, perhaps. A Jack Stevets. I don't really need him, though, is the thing. I don't have a purpose for this player on my squad, but I'm glad that I'm getting that kind of offer. Like, at first base, the corners, and shortstop, I'm very happy with what we've got. We could do better at center. We could do better at catcher, I think. Lou Krieger, maybe? Maybe. That is curious. I wonder why you haven't played him more. Very curious indeed. I mean, it is Jack Stevets. He would instantly give us offensive credibility. On the other hand, it's not like Kip Selbach is bad. And I don't have anywhere else to play him. So I think we focus on upgrading at either catcher or second base. Let's start by looking at second base. Let's shop for the best possible second baseman. I mean, there's Ton Berger, who is not a second baseman. There's Dick Padden, who is, but not a great one. We could just go for the gold and try to get the very best second baseman we can get our hands on. Is there anyone on the trading block that is of interest to me? No. I mean, a Tim Donahue type, maybe. But I think we can do better than that. Because there was a catcher, I remember, that was amazing defensively. That was also very young. Frank Connaughton, you are not a catcher. You don't even play one on TV. Where is that guy? Was it Lou Krieger I was thinking of? I think it was Lou Krieger. Look at these sexy on base percentages. It's not his fault he can't get regular playing time. I think we will trade for him. I'm going to put you instantly on the roster. Oh, okay. You can go to AAA Mcbride. Yeah, Alex Smith, I'm just going to waive you. I'm going to do the same for Mike, not such a good fellow. And then Luke Krieger is going to be a catcher. Bench coach, do your thing. I don't mind Krieger starting. I think Krieger's been dealt a bad hand, and I think he could be quite good if given a chance to start. Pitching staff looks great. Let's do it. Oh no, Alex Smith is being claimed. Why? No, seriously, why? Whatever, dudes. Giants, if you want Alex Smith, I'm not going to tell you no. It feels like when you have a dog and the dog sees the old rotten tennis ball and it seems so proud that I got it. You're just like, what a good boy, even though you're like, that's disgusting. But yeah. I don't want the Pirates to be shut out, but I do want us to play real good baseball, which we're doing so far. I mean, that's... Are you fucking kidding me? A sprained ankle keeps him out for 2 months. How? How does a sprained ankle keep you out for 2 bloody months? I don't get it. That's not how ankle sprains work. Like, even a high ankle sprain wouldn't keep you out for that long, I don't think. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is true. Like, 5, maybe even 6 weeks, I get it, maybe, but come on. Just stop, please. Hey, Doc White has proven to be exactly what we would have wanted. I approve. And then we're going to go to the end of this month. God damn it, Joe. It's a fucking sprained ankle. How does it take you that long to recover? I don't get it. I really don't. Like, who gives a crap about Bill Lang? I sure don't. I don't even know who he is. What, are you my center fielder? You are my center fielder. Okay, I actually do care about this a little bit. But the rest of it, not so much. Player development. Good. Greminger looks nice. Jimmy Sheckard is getting a tiny bit worse. Nothing too surprising. Jimmy Sebring is really getting good. He might force his way into this conversation in the next 3 seasons or so. I'm not going to rush him, but he's getting there. Doc White's still real good. This is all according to plan. Well, not all of it. I mean, Joe Tinker randomly having, like, the ankle sprain to end all ankle sprains is pretty bullshit, but the rest of it absolutely was part of my plan. Look, it's because Joe Tinker hasn't played that long. And I'm not gonna get a locally popular player unless it's something I can get for very cheap. Alright, we're gonna go to front office, we're gonna go to personnel. I'm gonna upgrade a pitching coach unless you have an amazing relationship with Doc White, which you don't. I'm gonna bring my bench coach back. I'm gonna bring back all my minor leaguers. Look, Carlos Fuentes, I think I'm probably gonna replace you. Cause 2 months on an ankle sprain, my dude. 2 bloody months. I don't know how that happens. Without you secretly working for the other teams. Wow, Doc White, not even any consideration? Jimmy Sheckard. That's the only player. Second place in the National League. And you decide, meh. 1 player's enough. What more does Doc White have to do to get your respect, you ungrateful bastards? Chance is getting a bit better. Ferris is getting a bit better. Tinker is getting a lot better. That's pretty nice. I mean, I think Doc White has Rookie of the Year pretty much sewn up right now. I don't care what either of you say. I would like you to stop talking, please. Vince, I want you to stop. I want all of you to shut up. You would give me reliever. I mean, I guess I could do some upgrading, maybe. I mean, we're already really good, and it's not like that there's going to be anybody that I can pick up. I mean, maybe an upgrade at center field is actually overdue. Maybe I need to get over my sentimentality and find ourselves an upgrade in center field. What can I offer people that would inspire them to give me what I seek, though? Is the thing. What do I got? Trade status. No. Make a trade. Trade block. Look, Baltimore's trying to Charlie Abbey. Well, good luck. If I wanted a great hitting center fielder, I could acquire Joe Sullivan, but I want someone more competent than that. Jimmy Barrett's basically the same player. I could get Tim Donahue, but I don't know why. Yeah, the players that are available are just not good enough. Bobby Lowe might be the exception. But I think our current second baseman's actually doing fine, right? I mean, I guess I could be doing better. I guess it would depend on what Bobby Lowe would cost me. Okay, you're definitely willing to take garbage. You want O'Brien, you can have him. . I'm going to let you decide where he plays. Interesting. You actually bench Greminger over Ferris, but why? Is it just because Ferris is so good defensively? Maybe. I'm not going to complain. If that's what my bench coach says, then that's what'll happen. But I thought Greminger was kind of doing fine as he was. Huh. Oh, there you go. You know what, Lang? I want you to go to hell. You're not going into the middle of the lineup. You're a center fielder who doesn't play center field that well anymore. And I'm tired of you complaining about it. So how about this? If I can get a better younger center fielder for you, I will trade you. If I can't, then you can shut the fuck up. Because I don't like players complaining to me about how badly they like to be traded. I could get Jimmy Barrett. That's just not what I want. I want to be a little bit more... I want to get a little more bang for my buck, so to speak. Joe Sullivan doesn't play center. Charlie Duffy would be an interesting project, but not at age 36. Ollie Pickering would be a pretty nice addition to this team. Gets on base, very good center fielder, at least about... Yeah, he's actually better than Lang. Let's do it. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Oh, no, you don't, Ollie. You're a center fielder here. Well, he's complaining that he wasn't in the heart of the lineup, and he was in the middle of the lineup the whole time. He really is a whiny little bitch, isn't he? All right. Now, all we need to do is just wait and see what happens the rest of the season. I like how Joe Tinker just got worse at everything. But I guess it makes sense because he didn't play all that much. Oh, come on. Look at Doc freaking White. He's just like, you bitch. I think, yeah, we got the pennant. We did it. Worst to first in 2 seasons. Wait, what? What happened to half of my team? Did you not add them to the postseason roster, or is this just you being weird? You're kidding me. Bobby Lowe is ineligible for the postseason roster. That is some grade A bullshit. And neither is Pickering. Why is he not eligible? Oh, because of when roster expansion happens. Actually happens before the trade deadline in this game. Man, whatever. I don't even care. Figure it out. Please don't make Doc White my everyday starting center fielder. He cannot pitch and be a starting center fielder. That is not a thing he can do. Yeah, that's not happening. Is Doc White not rested? Or he's super rested? I want Doc White all the bloody time. Game 1 didn't turn out. He did get lit up pretty doggone badly. And the White Sox win again. Come on, don't let us get swept. There we go. Then we lost again. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, we just didn't hit. Which is a real shame, but it's true that we just didn't hit. And granted, 2 of my very best players weren't allowed on the roster because of stupid reasons, but hey, let's be honest. We took the worst team in the majors, and we made it to the World Series in 2 seasons. As these things go, that's a pretty amazing achievement. Also, Cherokee Fisher, how would you get along? Alright, you're a great pitching coach, just maybe not the best fit for my current pitcher, whatever. Team trainer. Trainer ratings. I want to see lots of blue. Looks like 3 blue is the best I can do. No, here's 4 blue. I don't like trainers that can't heal arms though. I think that's very, very bad news. But otherwise, he's great at preventing arm injuries. If that's the case, I should hire Jim Friend. I think I'll take Robert here, even if he's not the best at healing injuries, because he's good at preventing the things that he can't fix easily, right? So yes, please join us. There we go. 2-year deal. The number 4 prospect in the major leagues. Yeah. So it worked out this season. What can we point to and say this gave us significant upgrades? Number 1. Jimmy Sheckard played out of his goddamn mind this season. He led the league in on-base percentage, and I love to see that from an outfielder. Joe Tinker. Any other year, he'd be talked about for Rookie of the Year. But not this year. And I think he's still got so much potential. I think he's going to be a real damn good one, real damn fast. Bobby Lowe. It was super weird they wouldn't let me keep him on the postseason roster, but I think he's a nice upgrade. Frank Chance put together another decent season. Maybe not a great season. And I think of any of my starters, he's got the most room for improvement. because his power just evaporated because he wasn't able to hit many triples. Kept Selbach was fine. I'm starting to think Selbach might be a bit more disposable than I was initially believing. So we might see what's available in the draft. Ed Greminger was good. Ollie Pickering came in and was fantastic. You know what, Hobie Ferris, you're good enough that you don't embarrass yourself with a bat, and you're a pretty decent defender. Klondike Douglas just keeps hitting. We might have to figure something out with him. And Lou Carr is just... his OPS plus was 0. I'm going to trade Lou Carr for literally anything. Just anything at all. That is not utter garbage. Do we dare? Do we dare take Jack Stevets? I'm not sure that we do, but I definitely think about it. I think I'll trade for Bert Husting. That seems fine. There we go. I don't have to worry about his lame ass. But my friends, we made a massive improvement over what we had before. I didn't even think Joe Tinker would count as a locally popular guy, but I'll take it. He wants an upgraded center field. He wants to increase attendance, and he wants me to upgrade at center field. And I think those are all things that are, at least on the surface, manageable. Let's look at the pitching staff. Because, my goodness, Doc White was amazing. He's everything we wanted. He led the league in WAR and wins and innings pitched. And we're scratching the surface of what he could give to this team. I am in utter awe of Doc White and the value he brings to this team. Bill Donovan, could we do better than you? Absolutely we could. Are we in awful shape that we can't just yet? No. But I think you're the next area to upgrade in. You just walk too many pitchers. You walk too many hitters. And I have to be able to do better than that. If we're going to truly... if we're going to not just make it to the pennant once, be a one and done, we need to come back again and again. And I think we can do it. I truly do. Because here's what's really scary, right? We didn't improve by all that much. And I know you're going to sit here and tell me, you're like, what are you talking about? You were a last place team. And that is true. And yeah, we improved by 42 wins over the course of 3 seasons. Which is great. It's really, really great. But there's just... This is the best kind of champion, a pennant-winning team, which is a team with obvious places to upgrade. And part of that upgrading process is going to be a full season of Bobby Lowe. Part of the upgrading process is going to be finding a replacement for Pickering. Like, I'm not saying the Pickering is bad. I'm saying that he's not good enough. I'm saying we need to do better if we're going to compete with the best teams year in and year out. But I am mega stoked about the future of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I really am. And I think it's just a matter of time before we're able to compete with the big boys in offense. With the best defense in the majors by far. And I think that really helped our pitching staff show what it can do. Was Charlie Case very good? No. But we need to give him some time. We need to give him some time to truly show us what he can manage. And it's not like not having our relief pitchers is going to cripple us, so... This was a damn fine season. And we have guys like Jimmy Sebring who are not terribly polished, but could be. Out of curiosity, Sheckard doesn't play left very well. And I'm not benching Sheckard. Jimmy Sheckard is too damn good to be left out of my future plans. So maybe we turn a player like Sebring into something else we might be able to use. I think that's a fair thing to suggest. But the sky's the limit for this franchise. It truly is. If Joe Tinker can keep up this level of contact and play a full season, and maybe hit with just a bit more power, I think he's going to be one of the best. Joe Tinker wasn't that great in real life, but you know what? It's because of that stupid poem, Tinker to Edwards to Chance, that all three of them made the Hall of Fame. Joe Tinker's not very good. Frank Chance, I think, was a more reasonable choice, but even so, it's only compared to other people of their time frame that they look really that impressive. But I'm not unhappy with him. I'm not unhappy with any of my players, really. We need that one extra player in the draft. We need a third starter to complement White and Callahan. We could use an upgrade at maybe second, maybe catcher, maybe center. But, oh God, you're terrible. Why do you still have a job? I'm going to replace you with literally anybody. Maybe I'll even call up Sebring and let him play in the outfield in the majors. But that's how quickly you can turn a franchise around. And all we need to do now is take the success we've gotten, build on it, and acquire the individual pieces we need to make this team truly something special as time progresses. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.